Okay, so another garden update, and I'm super excited because I came out to pick green beans and I had a few other discoveries, and I wanted to bring you out and show you what's going on. Okay, these are those Heinz ketchup tomatoes. Not big producers. They're very healthy plants, but there's only a few tomatoes on there. They're still flowering, so we'll see how they go. They're kind of a low to the ground bushy plant, which is easy to keep contained, and that's nice. Got a little grapevine right there. I'm so excited. We're gonna have 4 grapevines now because all 4 of them came up, and one of them over here is doing really well. Got my volunteer dill here, and then there's my other grapevine, and the beans are doing good. They're not producing as much yet as the beans that are in the garden, but they're getting with it. So, and the more you pick, the more you get. And we've already canned some up. Yay! All right, let's go over to the other part. Show you this, and these beans. I've got quite a few to pick off of this little bit of green beans. And the chives, what I've learned is just mow them down, and they'll come right back, and they'll reflower. And they're doing fantastic. So fresh chives out of the garden are just amazing. Oregano, sage, and rosemary also. And my one little apple is still hanging on. Looks like I've got strawberries to pick, and that's off the Laramie plants. Although now the little ones, the Ozark, I believe it was called, those are all putting berries on now too. So next year we should have a really good crop of strawberries. But look at that beautiful berry. Oh, I can't wait. And flowers all over the place. So morning snack here. Time to pick rhubarb. And that rhubarb plant. Anybody want a rhubarb plant? Because I don't think I need more rhubarb. What do you think? Okay, so here's an overview of this garden. It's become a jungle. Now, this plant is finally, there's some tomatoes that are actually getting some size to them, but it's still been a very odd plant. You can see down there we've got some tomatoes. For as big as this plant got and how long it flowered, it really didn't do that great. And I went ahead from some of the recommendations that you guys gave me. I did Epsom salts, which I've been doing, and organic fertilizer. And that really boosted this. This plant here, its leaves were all wrinkled last time, and it's back to thriving again. So it didn't help all of the plants, but it certainly helped some of them. And then we've got peppers and cucumbers. This cucumber is just taking over this area. And the corn. And I started looking at it, and guess what? We've got the beginnings. This is the beginning of, you see these coming out, they're little pollinator, you know, your seeds, or flower, I guess it is. Then you start looking for these little shoots, and we have corn on the cob coming. There's a couple on this one, and the one over here, I've got some there and up here, and so we're going to have corn on the cob. I'm excited. These Sweet 100s are absolutely loaded with tomatoes, but they sprawl so badly you can't get through. So, and you can't keep them tied up. They just have a mind of their own. So that Roma over there is loaded with Romas, and there's a nice pepper plant. These 2 tomato plants are not doing well. They both got early blight. But then these plants right next to them are just as big and healthy and just full of life. So, Fresno peppers. Ooh, look. Super excited. Got bell peppers. Isn't that great? This one's got 4 on it. They're almost big enough to pick. And that's the holy moly pepper plant. Tomatoes. Yay. Squash. This thing, I've had to keep this trimmed back so the volunteer little tomato plants in here could get enough sun. And I've got baby tomatoes on there. Isn't that something? Something, something. God, I love it. Another Roma back there just loaded. I don't know how it's supporting all those tomatoes. And this one, this little plant that's up on the bale, that little Roma is loaded. And corn on the cob, coming up. Sweet corn out of the garden. So that is a super sauce tomato. And that was one from Gurney's. And it's doing pretty good on the bale. But just loads of tomatoes, which is what we wanted because we want to be able to can tomatoes and tomato products. I use a ton of them. So green beans over here as well, cabbage and kale, and I just am super excited. We've got some sizable tomatoes in here. Here's another one that's got a beautiful big old tomato. The carrots down here next to the flowers. And I haven't had any real issues with bugs, and I think it's because I've planted so many marigolds. Sorry if it looks like a jungle in here. More corn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ears on just this one stalk. So, and they're taller than I am. Beans, I'm only 5'1". That's not saying a lot, but they're really tall. All right, let's go out and check out the raspberries. This is my little apple. My one and only. Okay, so we're in this garden bed. And I'm telling you, these raspberries have created just a great fence. But I want to show you these. These are spaghetti squash. Yay! And they grow super fast. You'll see them one day and then all of a sudden they're that big. And I think there's like 6 of them on this one plant. And we finally, if you look how big these 2 butternut squash plants, there's one on each plant. So I don't know if I'm going to try to grow them again because they're taking up a lot of room for one on each. Maybe we'll get more. And they look like this. That's one, and then there's one over there on that other plant. And then these 3 little cucumber plants. What a little big producer. I've already got pickling cucumbers again. Let's see if you can see that. It's hard for me to see in the viewfinder what you can see, but there's another cucumber. And there's some more. So they're everywhere. And let's go check out the cabbage. Oh yeah, there's another 5-pounder easily. That's a big cabbage. And then there's this one's right behind it. Yes. And we've got this actually, there is a little grapevine leaf. The birds kind of got to it, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll come around. So garlic and beans and the raspberries that I planted this year, they will look like the other side, but they're actually setting a little bit of fruit. So pretty exciting. And the tomato plants that I transplanted from the bales out here are trying to make it. And the corn isn't that big out here, but I do see little, it's going to give us some corn stalks, or some ears of corn, so it doesn't matter how big it is, I guess. Okra. Okay, what I've learned about okra, pick it young. And like these, I need to pick these already because they get tough if you let them get too big. And then let you see the tomatoes. See, they're going to be okay. There's a tomato that I transplanted, and then there's one over there. This one, the whole root ball came off, so I don't know if it's going to make it. But here and there, we're picking tomatoes, and that grapevine's doing just fine. So next year, we should have a grapevine. So there's an overview of this thing. It too has become a jungle. Now next year it'll look a lot different because I'm going to keep the raspberries on this fence and then on the opposite fence. And then I think what I'll do is just plant something down the center and that's it. And leave the rest to raspberries. Because I don't think there's enough room to have a third row of berries. But maybe. We'll see. Alright, and there's a view of the other garden, jungle. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Alright guys, I hope it inspires you to get outside in the garden and enjoy your yard as much as I do. And even though it's a lot of work, it's so rewarding come time to reap the benefits when you're making delicious dinner out of what you've harvested. Last night we had Tex-Mex cabbage rolls with part of that cabbage. Alright guys, I can't wait to see you next time. Don't forget, go down in the About section, give me a thumbs up, check out all those links that I've left for you, and go check out Zaycon Foods. Check me on Facebook, like that page, and get notified whenever I upload as soon as you subscribe. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!